Hi everyone, I just wanted to go over some of the settings on the digital gauge cluster for the Toyota Corolla Cross XLE and XSE trims. So today's video just is going to go over the looks of the digital gauge cluster. So how do we change some of the information? But more importantly, first, how do we change the theme of what the display actually looks like? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down the OK button until the menu pops up, and I'm going to go down to settings and I'm going to hit OK. From there, I'm going to go all the way to the bottom. You can also go to the top. These are all different settings that we will talk about in the future, just not right now. And I'm going to go to meter settings and I'm going to long hold OK. So if it's not going to the next menu, just know that sometimes you have to long hold the OK button on the steering wheel. From there, if I go to meter type, I can have set several different themes here. So I have a left and a right on this display, but if I go up to the next one and hit OK, notice it changes to the center and I have a left and a right. And if I hit back and I go to the other one and I hit OK, it's more just a very simple theme. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to go to the third one just for right now in this video, but you can play around with it. It's kind of cool to have different options to play around with and utilize throughout, your drive. So I'm going to go back one more and I'm going to go to meter style. Now this really changes the theme. So I can select like what would tough look like, completely changes the image, sporty, and then based on that other menu system, what you set that to will change what these look like. So I'm just gonna go back to the smart, but a lot of people don't realize you can really customize the digital display cluster on your Toyota car to really be what you want it to be and what you like it to be. So again, there's a lot of different settings here, but these are the ones that I'm just going to, talk about in this video because they deal with the display. Now, the other thing I just wanted to bring up, because this is a hybrid, is that if I go back to where this meter style and meter type were, and I scroll down, I can go to things like fuel economy here and I can hit OK. And I really like to know what my trip average is when I'm driving currently instead of the total average for the life of the car. And I know you get that when you shut off the car, but sometimes I just like to see where I'm at and how my driving's, how am I actually driving in terms of the ratio. So I like to change this to trip average because then on my main display, I see what is the current MPG while I'm driving. So I'm gonna back out of this menu and I'm gonna go up, and here I'm going to now just hit OK. I want it to be blank, and I'm gonna hit back to get out of this. So I remember on the main one, I just set it to blank. This is where the settings were at. I'm just going to go back to blank, hit OK, long hold OK, hit back, and now it's gone. So you really have three different, what I would say, wallpapers to choose from while you're driving your car. So in this first display here, so if you notice, I can go here left and right on my steering wheel controls, and it changes what is showing to the driver. So how do we go about changing what's on the left side and the right side for each of those three wallpapers? So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna long hold OK on one of the wallpapers. So I'm gonna go to my first wallpaper. So first I'm just gonna go right or left, go to the first wallpaper, and I'm gonna long hold OK. And now I'm gonna go to the left and I can change what is displayed on this wallpaper one by cycling up and down on the actual left. So it just knocked me out of there. So I'm gonna long hold OK on the first wallpaper, and there I could cycle up and down to show me what do I want to display on the left side of wallpaper one. Now go left again and it allows you to check mark everything. I would just check mark everything so you know exactly all of your options that you have to cycle through. I'm gonna hit back. So now I could cycle through a ton of different stuff here for what I want on the left side of my wallpaper one. So in this case, I'm going to do I forgot what I had it on. I think I had it on the drive info. Nope, that was on the other one. There's trip A, trip B. There's the energy, tire plus. Well, it doesn't really matter for now. I'm gonna not, play around with this, but I'm just gonna say fuel economy, hit okay. And there's my trip average. So notice, if I didn't change that to trip average there, it would be for the life of the car average showing right there. So now I'm cleared out because I haven't been pressing anything and it just erases, it sets it back to the square one. So I'm gonna long hold okay again. And that gets me back to the left or the right to change the information. Remember, go right and then right again and check all of the boxes so you know what options you have to scroll through. So I'm gonna hit back, and I'm gonna hit back again. So now I'm going to cycle to another wallpaper. So there's my third option of the home screen wallpaper. If I long hold OK and I go to the left, now I can change what I want to show here. Remember, go to the left again. You want to make sure everything's all check marked for your options. I'm going to go right. And this one I have is the EV ratio. So what is my percentage that I'm using EV mode versus not EV mode? And again, you have 3 different wallpapers that at any time while you're driving, you can cycle through and see the different information displayed. And you have total control of what information that is displayed. So I like to have on mine the all-wheel drive and the battery meter for the hybrid system. The all-wheel drive is nice because it's really cold out here and it's wintry conditions, so I can see when the rear wheels are actually engaging and what percentage they're actually engaging versus the front. So it's just a nice feature to have. Again, my other one is just my trip average for the current trip, and I changed that in the other setting, remember, and then my trip distance and time. And then the other one that I have is the EV ratio, and then just what my tire pressure readings are. So that's going to be it for this video, showing all the different ways you can customize what you want your digital gauge cluster to look like. So I hope this was helpful. You guys have a great day. Thanks.